right, thank you. So we just called the meeting to order. Do we have any additions or deletions to our agenda?
No, sir, we do not for a special meeting.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, so I'll call for a roll call vote. Kathy,
Yes.
Miss Judy,
Yes.
Miss Helen,
Yes.
Gene,
Yes.
Mr. McCotter,
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah.
Yes.
and yes for myself. So we'll move on to our main reason for our meeting today. Agenda item number 2, discuss the COVID-19 protocols for Pamlico County Schools. So Lisa, who's going to start off the discussion on this? You're muted, Lisa.
Sorry, I was trying to do the right thing and be muted. I think that you guys should, based on the fact that you guys called this meeting, I'm happy to answer any questions. Mr. Rice is here on behalf of the nurses. I have met with the nurses and the principals, and I'm happy to answer any questions, but I'd like for maybe Ms. Dunbar or Mr. Delamar to speak on behalf of, why you guys wanted us to have this special meeting.
Okay. Yeah, Kathy, you're the one that was going to keep track of the numbers, so I'll let you share those with us at this time.
Okay, well, as of today, looking at the CDC COVID tracker website, there are 0 cases actually reported, new cases in Pamlico County, and we are in the low category now. That puts us in the lowest category. The percent positivity is at 1%. So new hospital admission. What'd you say?
Can you give us that percentage again? Your audio feed broke up.
So the new cases in the last 7 days are 0 reported. The case rate per 100,000 is also 0. The percent positivity for testing is 1.03%. And new hospital admissions are 0. And in looking at another website, and it reports on all the counties in North Carolina, I think Pamlico County has the lowest numbers. And actually, it might not have been all of the counties. I looked at about 100, and Pamlico County was the lowest. So with 0 cases, I really feel like it's time that we go back to optional and give people the options of wearing the mask or not wearing the mask, as long as we have such a low rate in Pamlico County.
Henry, what did the nurses say?
The nurses are agreeing with this. They feel like it's time to do something different.
And I'll say
Be glad to quit telling those kids to pull their mask up over their nose.
Yes, sir.
I met with the principals yesterday too, prior to meeting with the nurses, and they anticipated that's exactly what the nurses would say, and they were in full support of making masking optional for students and staff based on our, like Ms. Dunbar said, the current numbers in the county, and based on the numbers from our chart that we update daily, and it was updated just prior to the meeting. I will ask, well, I'll stop there.
Hello?
So, Ms. Jackson, I have one question. Will the students still be required to wear the mask on the buses? They will, won't they?
Yes,
okay.
that's something that is required statewide. We will have to wear a mask on buses. And that's activity buses or yellow buses. And thank you for mentioning that.
Does someone have a motion ready?
Well, I would like to add to that. I would like to know, this is Ms. Robinson, when is this change for optional supposed to take effect?
I guess it's going to depend if you guys vote on that and then what you decide in your motion, whether it's immediate or after Thanksgiving or after the holidays or whatever, but it's going to depend on the motion. That's up to y'all, basically.
So I wanted to also add that we only have, and somebody correct me please if I am wrong, we have 17 and a half more days left in 2021. So that means we have approximately 5 days in November to continue with wearing the mask. And then when they come back in December, it looks like it's 12 and a half days of wearing the mask. I just don't want to have to see us flip-flopping, going to mask.
I think the biggest problem, if we pass a motion to make mask optional and set a date out there in the future, it's going to be very, very hard to enforce. And I don't want to put that burden because we've shown our intent, and I think it's going to make it awfully difficult to enforce. I don't know. John, what do you think? Either John.
Good morning or afternoon. I feel the masks have been very effective because they have helped us keep the rates down and keep the virus under control. However, since we have such low numbers, I think we can go ahead. I'm not concerned about flip-flopping. We will be monitoring the data and adjust as the needs demand. And in this case, I think that, by the way, this is John McCotter. In this case, I think that the needs have gone to mask optional because of such low numbers. So I agree with the nurses and support the advice of our medical team.
I would like to make a motion that we make the changes to our COVID policy or procedures as we've discussed, to make mask optional, still required on the buses, but optional for school, and that it take effect immediately as of tomorrow.
I'll second it.
I would like to make a comment as far as flip-flopping or the time waiting for things. Since we are monitoring data, if the data numbers all of a sudden change and we have an outbreak, we would make that immediate. So I concur with making this an immediate change to optional masks.
And the requirements are that we still discuss monthly our COVID protocols. And we're required to do that. We're required to still monitor the data and to discuss this and revisit it every month at our meetings.
Okay.
So that will be fine.
Mr. Prescott, you're muted.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that. Do we have any further discussion?
No, let's go. Let's vote.
All right.
I know I'm not a board member. Could I say something before you vote?
Sure.
If we ultimately do go to optional masking, I just would like to ask the patience of the parents and the students that it doesn't mean everything in the building goes back to normal. It's even more important at this point that we still be very vigilant, that we clean, that we be very careful about large groupings of people. So we will eventually get there, but with the holidays coming up, we're not going to just go everything back to normal immediately. And that was a long conversation I had with the principals yesterday too. So I want to say that for all the ones that are watching, we will get there, but it's not going to happen tomorrow.
All right. So here, no more discussion. We'll have a vote on the motion to begin immediately with mask optional as duly noted in Ms. Dunbar's motion. So calling for a vote, Kathy,
Yes.
Mr. McCotter,
Yes.
Ms. Helen,
No.
Mr. Dudley,
Yes.
Miss Judy,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and yes for myself. The motion carries 6-1. So effective immediately, the students in our schools may choose to be optional with their mask.
Immediately or tomorrow? Kathy said tomorrow in her motion, I think.
Now, I think she said immediately. I paid close attention. What do you remember what you said, Kathy?
She said immediately, then she said tomorrow. So it's up to you guys. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure it's right.
I think probably tomorrow.
Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. That was our main
Do we
agenda.
need to revote? Do we need to revote to clarify that?
Yep. So correction to the vote and clarifying that mask will be optional starting tomorrow. So Ms. Dunbar,
Yes.
Mr. McCotter,
Yes.
Miss Judy,
Yes.
Helen,
No.
Jean,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and yes for myself. All right. So motion carries 6-1. Tomorrow we will start with mass optional. Being that that is the only item on our agenda for the special meeting today, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion.
I got 3 with a motion.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Roll call vote to adjourn. Kathy,
Somebody-
Yes.
Miss Judy, that's my phone, sorry.
Yes.
McCotter,
Yes.
Miss Helen,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
and yes for myself. Thank you for your quick time today, and we'll see each other on December 6th. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Congratulations to our new interim principal at Pamlico Primary School.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Y'all have a good afternoon.